Thing a little closer, Mr. Speaker. It sound kind of close. Look at the board. It's a historic day today. This legislative assembly will be the first that met on the 80th day. I'm just amazed. I wasn't going to speak much on the reconsideration, but as long as we decided to debate all the issues, I figured I might as well add a couple comments about the session and about this bill and about property tax relief and reform. And I agree with Representative Becker. Our job is not to be in a hurry. It's to get it right. It's to get it right. We've heard from all the superintendents. We've heard from all the teachers. We've heard from almost everybody but the taxpayers about what's going on here. Representative Nathy made a comment, said, "Where's your plan?" He went down and tried to defend our plan for 17 meetings, and they said no. Yesterday, we succumbed to the fact that all we could get out of the Senate was $250 million of corporate and personal income tax relief. I kind of felt like the prisoner of war that was given two choices. We can either starve you to death over 2 months or we can shoot you today. What do you pick? Because they held us hostage until we surrendered. Last night at the Sine Die party, one particular senator came to one of our guys and said, "If you don't vote for 1319, I'm going to take away that little tweak that we gave you." What in the world kind of a way is that to do business? If it's such a dang good idea, then keep it. Don't go threatening our guys like that. This is the House of Representatives. We have just as much authority and power as they do. But we're supposed to bend over and just get shoved into the river. Say, "Here you go. We're not giving in to you." And I get a little tired of that. And quite obviously with the comments, we've been underfunding education and been in violation of the Constitution for 124 years. I didn't know that. Shame on us. The OMB bill is coming. Bills we've killed in the past have been killed over there, over here. All of a sudden they're all reappearing at OMB. But that's okay. That's okay. I can reassure you that if things died in here, I'm not very eager to put them on in that bill. But what is our job here? Our job is to do the right thing. There's a bill that absolutely defends the House's position. $400 million in mill levy reduction grants, $338 million directly back to the property payer, to the county, to be assessed against, to given against his property. And it's summed up best by one of the guys that sent me a letter. And by the way, I have a whole stack of things, people talking about this. It says, "Why don't you just send me the next relief checks directly to me, and I will try not to lose it in the shuffle." That says a lot. Or the little old lady, 81-year-old lady in her house that sends me the letter and said, "You know what? Unfortunately, I have investment income that brings me just above the level, so I don't get any homestead tax credit. But it doesn't allow me to stay in my house any longer because the assessments keep rising, and because my valuation goes up, my taxes go up, and I can't stay there anymore. And I'm 81 years old, and I don't want to leave my house. I've been in there since it was new." That's the people we work for. That's the people we've got to get to. This is a tremendous amount of money for education. I will not argue that for 1 minute. But this is also a package where you reform, where you get the money back, where we become responsible spending at all levels of government, not just here, everywhere. So decide as you will. But the taxpayers are standing there saying, "Do something. And do something so I see it." And I don't know that anything we have stops the runaway growth and the assessed valuation. Thank God North Dakota is growing. Thank God for the oil industry, or we wouldn't even have these discussions, because we wouldn't have this money to spend today. Wouldn't have it. Absolutely wouldn't have it. We'd be back. And in 1013, the DPI budget's sitting there. Did you know that that's got a 5% increase in it each year, the biennium and the per pupil payments? That's not included in the $714 million increase. So there was already an increase built in of 5%. So they weren't going backwards. But I can understand the superintendent said, "Look at all the extra money I get." But it's either your money or my money. It's still the same amount of money to educate that kid. So do as you will. We need to move on. It's day 80. We don't need to panic, though, because we send a bill over. And you know what? If the Senate decides to kill 2036, which is $400 million in mill levy reduction grants and $338 million in direct payments back, so be it. Then guess what? The state of North Dakota is out of the property tax business, and then all of those people over there will have to decide why they didn't want to be involved in that anymore. And shame on them if they kill our reform bills, which are going to attempt to make that dollar stick. When you send $1 home, you get $1. So is it an education funding bill, Representative Nathy? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Do we have a plan? I believe the House has a plan. If we don't think it's worth anything, don't think it's worth fighting for, then vote to not reconsider. But if you think what we did in the first half, which is no new idea, is worth voting for, then reconsider, kill that bill, and send our other ones over there.